In a small village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests lived a young woman named Belle. She was admired for her extraordinary beauty, but what set her apart was her sharp mind and love for books. While the other villagers were content with simple lives, Belle longed for adventure. The village was bound by tradition, and a man named Gaston, a boastful, arrogant hunter, had set his sights on making Belle his wife. Despite his good looks and strength, Belle found him insufferable. He saw women as trophies rather than equals, and that was something Belle could never accept. One day, Belle's father, Maurice, an eccentric but kind-hearted inventor, prepared for a trip to a neighboring town to sell one of his latest creations. Before leaving, Belle asked for only one thing. "Bring me back a single rose, father." Maurice smiled and promised to return with her gift. As Maurice rode through the forest, a storm suddenly raged, and he lost his way. Cold and desperate, he stumbled upon a massive, eerie castle hidden behind twisted trees. With nowhere else to go, he entered cautiously. Inside, the castle was dark and grand, with flickering candlelight barely illuminating the towering walls. To his shock, the furniture seemed to move and speak. A charismatic candelabrum named Lumiere, a strict but kind-hearted clock named Cogsworth, and a warm teapot named Mrs. Potts welcomed him, offering food and shelter. Before leaving, Maurice wandered into the castle's garden and spotted a bush covered in vibrant red roses. Remembering Belle's wish, he plucked a single rose. At that moment, a deep, thunderous growl echoed behind him. "How dare you steal from me?" A monstrous figure stepped forward, a beast, towering and fierce, his eyes burning with anger. Maurice trembled and begged for mercy, but the beast would not listen. "You will pay for this theft with your freedom," the beast declared, locking Maurice in the castle's dungeon. Days passed, and when Maurice did not return, Belle feared the worst. She saddled her horse, Philippe, and ventured into the dark forest. The storm had cleared, but an unnatural chill lingered in the air. As she approached the mysterious castle, inside, she found her father imprisoned. Before she could release him, the beast appeared, his shadow looming over her. Instead of pleading for mercy, Belle stood her ground and made a bold offer. "Let my father go, and I will take his place." The beast was stunned. No one had ever willingly stayed in his castle before. After a long pause, he agreed. Maurice was sent home, while Belle was led deeper into the castle, her heart pounding with fear and uncertainty. At first, Belle found the castle cold and unwelcoming. The beast remained distant. Though he was rough in manner, he never harmed her. The enchanted objects, Lumiere, Cogsworth, Mrs. Potts, and little Chip, did their best to make her feel comfortable. One day, Lumiere guided her to the castle's grand library, a magnificent room filled with thousands of books. Belle's eyes widened in wonder. "This is for you," the beast muttered awkwardly, watching her reaction. Belle was surprised. The more time she spent with him, the more she realized that he was not just a monster. He could be awkward, sometimes harsh, but beneath it all, there was a wounded soul longing for something he had lost. As days passed, they started sharing moments together, reading, talking, and even laughing. One night, Belle found the beast outside in the snow-covered garden, gazing at the stars. She approached him and hesitated before asking, "Why are you cursed?" The beast sighed and told her the truth. Long ago, he had been a selfish prince who turned away a beggar woman asking for shelter. She revealed herself to be an enchantress and punished him for his cruelty. The only way to break the curse was if someone loved him despite his monstrous form before the last petal of a magical rose fell. Belle listened, her heart filled with sadness for the lonely, cursed soul before her. Back in the village, Maurice tried to explain what had happened, but no one believed him. Seeing an opportunity to rid himself of his rival, Gaston rallied the villagers, convincing them that the beast was dangerous. He's a monster who will come for us all, Gaston declared, igniting fear among the people. They gathered weapons, torches, and marched toward the castle, determined to slay the beast. Belle, realizing the danger, raced back to warn him. The villagers stormed the castle. Lumiere and the enchanted objects fought bravely, using their magic to hold them back. Meanwhile, Gaston climbed the tower, where he found the beast standing motionless, lost in sorrow. "Fight me, beast," Gaston taunted, striking him. But the beast did not fight back. Then Belle arrived. Seeing her, the beast's eyes lit up with hope. He defended himself, overpowering Gaston but refusing to kill him. However, as the beast turned away, Gaston stabbed him in the back before losing his balance and falling to his death. Belle rushed to the beast's side, cradling him as he gasped for breath. "Don't leave me," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. With his last breath, the beast whispered, "You came back," and his eyes closed. As the final rose petal fell, all hope seemed lost. Belle clutched the beast, crying from the depths of her heart. "I love you," she whispered. At that moment, a golden light swirled around them. Belle gasped as the beast's body rose into the air, glowing with magic. His claws and fur melted away, revealing a handsome prince with warm, kind eyes. He opened his eyes, looking at her as himself for the first time. "Belle, it's me," he said softly. The castle shimmered, its walls brightening, and the enchanted objects transformed back into people. The curse had been broken. The castle was restored to its former glory, and Belle and the prince ruled with kindness and wisdom. The village, once filled with fear, saw the truth. This was no monster, only a man who had once lost his way. Belle had found her adventure, her love, and her home. And so, they lived happily ever after.